They were there, plain sight. Egg, small penis, openly terrible person. Heart attack, Ali. Okay, so 3 things that we missed in Squid Games. First, it is so relatable. We can literally all put ourselves in that situation. Don't freak out. I'm not saying that you're crazy and desperate and evil. I kind of am, but that's point 2. Forces us to think of ourselves. Do not tell me that when you're watching it, you did not put yourself in that situation and think, okay, red light, green light, would I have ran? Or would I have stayed still? Would I have run back? Would I have formed a team? Would I have gone it solo? At which point would I eliminate people, or would I never do that? You put yourself in that situation. Even the idea of them leaving the game and being so desperate that they came back. You thought about it. You thought, how desperate would I be to come back into this situation? We all did, because it's like, it's the human story. And I feel like it explains society. We are just numbers to society. It's the connections that we make that actually give us a name. We enter as a number, we leave as a statistic. And it's only those connections that we build that differentiate us from like the person next to us. Even when we stumble, even if like we've won, whatever happens in life, society still views you as a number. And I think a lot of people have felt not taken seriously within society, not given proper chances, because the reality is we've all made bad decisions to different degrees, and things that could have put us in a different situation than it actually has, or maybe it has put you in a difficult situation and you can relate even more. Within this situation, there's a lot of people that are desperate, not because of their own life choices, but because they were born poor or they were born in a difficult situation. And we can all relate to not having choice and making bad decisions, but equally not having choice and being put in a situation that we didn't plan for. So many of the characters explain the failures of society. So you've got 67, which is foreign policy, the whole North Korean element. You've got 240, the failure of the justice system. Because of self-defense, she spent all of her life in prison. Ali, immigration and how difficult his life is because he's an immigrant. 218, the failure of the financial services. How unchecked does society need to be, economy need to be, that he can lose that much money that lands him in this desperate situation? And it's not just Korea, like every country has financial services that are to some extent unchecked. That's what the whole like global crisis was about. And it hasn't really changed. I will argue this with you because I know you will try and come up with, oh, but this one did this and this one did that. I don't think anyone's fundamental character changed. Circumstances don't make a person, they reveal the person. Squid Game gave them the chance to be themselves without the constraints of society and family and what is expected of them. The incentive is far too high for you not to be yourself. Like, this guy was not evil at the end. Squid Game didn't make him a problematic person. He entered the game putting his mum's shop up for collateral and didn't even tell her about it. Told her that he was on a business trip, knowing what was gonna happen, that he could die in that game. Squid Game gave him the opportunity to be an openly terrible person. Look at that game with the shapes. He knew his childhood friend could just pick the circle, the triangle, the square. He knew it, and he let him pick the umbrella. And the surprise on his face when he came back, like he thought he was gonna die. There was no need for that. 101, Deok-su. He entered a thug and he left a serial killer. Like, his character did not change in any way. That was who he was. He wasn't surprised or squeamish in any way. The dude, like, killed someone for egg. And then we all know what he did afterwards because he got happy about it. Ali is so trusting. He entered trusting, waiting for his boss to give him the money that was owed to him and believing that he would. And he entered this game and he put his faith in the wrong person. He trusted Sang-woo. And look what happened to him. The game just reveals who you are. If you are a good person, you're going to continue to be that. If you're trusting, you're going to continue to be that. It maybe enhances things in you, but it doesn't change you in any way. And even the main guy, he stumbled his way through life, getting lucky, somehow managing. He had a bit of strategy here and there, and that's literally what happened within the game. He stumbled his way through. Like, he would have been gone in the first game if not for Ali. So many different games, even the tempered glass. Like, he didn't have a plan. It was only that Dolanga game that he actually had some sort of strategy for it. And that's why his whole anger and desire to take down the system is misplaced. This guy has no strategy. He has no strategy in life, no strategy in the game. How is he suddenly gonna take down this big machine? I don't get it. I'm confused. I'm expecting we're gonna get a season 2, but I have no idea what he's gonna be doing in that. My favorite part of Squid Games, the little nuggets and clues that they leave throughout for us to discover. First, the fact that everyone is looking for clues in order to win the games, but there's pictures in the room throughout the games of what the next game is going to be. And it only becomes super clear when there's only 3 people left, because all of the beds have been removed. And some of the deaths were also foreshadowed. Obviously he died on the bridge, but do you remember before when he was running away from like mob people, he jumped off a bridge to save himself, and that's literally the same way he died. And then also the girl that killed him, she did that move earlier on in the show as well, and that's literally the same move where she's leaning back. 001, the old guy, Oh Il-nam. The clues were just being layered on. I caught some of them, so I actually reacted to episode 8 and 9 on Patreon. So I'm just gonna play those clips for you to see what I thought. I do have like a kind of wild theory. I have told one of my friends something to do with it. I feel guilty even saying it, to be honest, because he's like old and he's just died. And I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying the whole like, oh, I'm dying routine. A, he's number 1, which is suspicious to me. And B, the way he just immediately is opening up his life. We actually don't know that much about his life. We just know that he has like, was it cancer? Everyone else, we get a sense of why they're in there, what they're like looking for. We don't get that from him. So it's like, why are you there? During the first game, red light, green light, right? Everyone else is shook. He's not shook at all. He runs. Like that night of terror, everyone's killing each other, and he climbs up to the top. Suddenly he's not frail anymore. Everyone needs to stop. That just to me seemed very like, it just fit very well with the whole theme of the show, in terms of everyone being a number, and actually society, once you take away certain aspects of society, everything just falls to chaos. And he's there like verbalizing that. It just seemed too on the ball for me, and everything else hasn't been. So I was just a bit, yeah, the guards stopped, or yeah, like stopped the fighting after he did his whole spiel. And then that whole manipulation thing that he did with the dice, he pretended that he didn't understand that he was cheating him the whole time until the end, and then made him feel really bad about it. But he knew what was happening. So you're not actually senile. He's like walking off and like running down the clock. No, he's just creating an atmosphere of pressure. Dodgy. And we never actually saw him die. We saw Ali. We actually saw him like his body. We never saw that guy get shot. We never saw his body. Who is he? I don't know, but I'm skeptical. And no one changed throughout the duration of the game, and no one complained of stinking. They were literally sleeping in other people's blood, and no one complained of anything. 2 days without my skincare routine, I'm gone, I'm out. And one random thing that I thought was so funny, Deok-su was actually killed. The last word that he heard was small penis. For a man that has lived his life thinking that he's better than everyone, and definitely better than women, and treating them like crap, for the last thing he hears to be that, I just thought the heart attack of hearing those words would have killed him before he hit the ground. There is literally so much more that I could talk about with this show, but I want to hear your thoughts. Things you think we missed. What are the big picture stuff? What are the random silly things that you noticed as well? Let me know. Bye.